everybody, this is me Z here, and today I will be trying out the 1 layer challenge. I had a lot of fun working on this challenge, mostly because it's something new and I finally gave it a try after contemplating on it for months. However, despite the fact that I had fun, I also faced a lot of difficulty because I am somebody who uses more than 50 layers in just about every drawing I create, so the challenge did become a bit daunting in the beginning. But then again, I remembered my roots about as to how I would draw on 1 layer, so that did give me a boost of motivation. For those of you who are curious as to how the final result came out, stick to the end of the video so that you get to catch a glimpse of the drawing. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so the character I will be working in this video is of a friend's character on Discord. I am drawing their OC, and for this challenge, like I stated before, I will be using a single layer, and I just hope I don't accidentally use another layer. However, in the beginning, I did make a small exception where I used a layer for the sketch and a separate layer for the cleanup sketch, because I figured that things would become a lot more difficult and complicated if I were to do the coloring and line art all together on the sketch layer, even though that's the whole point of the 1 layer challenge. But again, I'm somebody who likes to keep things organized, so I was compelled to keep the sketches on 2 separate layers. The sketch itself did not take me very long. I just used the felt tip brush for the sketch, and I just went on about the character. I went for a sort of adventurous atmosphere for the drawing, because I take it that maybe the character was just walking around and then on his way he finds something, so he picks it up and is taking a look. Moments before disaster. I really like how the sketch looks so far. Alright, so after I was done working on the sketch, I began working on the base colors. Just a small disclaimer, you guys can probably see in the right hand side in the bottom that it says I have 17 layers open. Well, it's not actually 17. The thing was that while I was working on the sketch, I had the parts of the character, like the hair, the accessories, on separate layers, due to which it accumulated to 17 layers. So I just had to use the add layer from folder option so that everything was merged into one, and then I hid everything else, so that's why it's showing it's 17. So don't worry, I did not use any extra layers except for the cleanup sketch like I stated before. As you all can see, I am using a different method of filling in the base colors. I actually saw this art hack in a YouTube short where you clicked on special and selected the lasso fill tool. I've been using this method ever since I found out about it, so thank you to the person who discovered this, because this is an absolute lifesaver. However, again, filling in the base colors did take me a while because I am not used to working on 1 layer, okay? I was struggling so much, and even my hand began to cramp a lot in between, so I had to take a break, come back once my hand was doing better, and work on the drawing with a clear mind. Again, as somebody who uses a lot of layers in her drawings, this challenge was really challenging. It was difficult. I was on the verge of giving up because of how frustrating it became, but then again, I had to carry on because, hey, the show must go on, right? So I'm working on the character's clothing, which wasn't that fun at all, but I did try to make the most of it, and I just kept going. But again, these challenges are meant to take you out of your comfort zone, and I can say for sure that this challenge really brought me out of my comfort zone, because I was like really out of place once the challenge was done, and I just had this sudden realization that, like, oh my goodness, How was old Z working on one layer when she first started out? It's insane, really, to come a long way from having zero knowledge about digital art, zero knowledge about layers, and just doing everything on one layer carefree. It's absolutely insane. Because the base colors are taking a super duper long time and I don't have much to say for this segment, I'm just going to let the background music take over, so I'll meet you guys in a bit.
"2,000 years later."
After I was done with the base colors, I went around and made some adjustments, and I was unable to kind of record this part because my iPad just had to run out of storage, so please don't think I used extra layers or anything, because I did not. So over here, I was just going in with a darker color over the sketch because I really wasn't liking how the drawing was coming out, because I really wanted to go for lineless art. But again, like I said, I went over the sketch with a much darker color and I changed my mind the last minute because everything started to go wrong after this part and I was on the verge of just giving up. Later on, I pretty much did the same thing with the hair. I just went over it with a darker yellowy gold color. I did the same thing for the clothes too, and the hand, and just about everything else. So, what are my final thoughts about this challenge? Well, for somebody who's impatient and stubborn like me, this challenge was really a challenge. It definitely restricted me from not using more than 1 or 2 layers. It really pushed me out of my comfort zone no matter how mad or frustrated I got. It compelled me to push through the drawing because I just wanted to test out something new, and obviously challenges are supposed to be fun, but this one was a bit more challenging. Oh, also, I finally figured out why the character was looking a little bit dead. It was because I forgot to add the highlights in his eyes, so I'm really glad I was able to do that. So after I was done with most of the things, I just added in my watermark, but I am pretty sure I'm missing something else, which I add later on. I feel like it's the color in the character's sleeves. Like there's supposed to be a splotch of maroon in between the little diamonds on his sleeves, which I do add later on. And here is the final result of the 1-layer challenge, everybody. Even though I really wanted to quit in between, I still had a lot of fun drawing because this was another art trade I did with a friend of mine. So thank you so much to Akira from Discord for letting me draw your character. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!